Possible shooting inside of one of the classrooms at Castro.
It was about 8:55. I was in my first period and we heard a very loud, sharp noise. Nobody identified it as a gunshot. About 30 seconds later, kids just started running. My door was open and a few kids came in. They used two different phrases. A girl's vein had popped or a girl's vein had exploded. And there was blood everywhere, and I had to come. I went next door, and there was one female student sitting on the floor in the back of the room, holding her right arm, watching it bleed. There was blood everywhere. I didn't know what had happened, and I'd never seen so much blood in my life, but I knew she was still bleeding, and I knew that the bleeding had to be stopped. My mother was a registered nurse, so I knew how to do a tourniquet. I got my belt off. I positioned the girl and raised her arm, and the wound was here. Got my belt about 4 inches above the wound, pulled it tight, and the bleeding stopped. The principal arrived, and I told him we needed the nurse, and he told me the nurse was only there 2 days a week, and this was not one of those days. And I thought, oh my God, what now? What I didn't know was that there was a second gunshot victim, another student who'd been hit in the head by the same bullet. We were incredibly lucky that neither one of them died. And the idea that we send 600,000 students to school and maybe there's a nurse there and maybe there isn't a nurse there, I think it's criminally negligent. I need a full-time nurse on campus. And so does every teacher and every student in this district. The idea that we have $2 billion in a cash reserve and we're not using that immediately to put a nurse on every campus is obscene. I'm fighting for a nurse to take care of my children. For me, this district is about people. For the other side, this district seems to be about money.